of Myanmar. But more broadly than this, this may be a little off the wall, but you know, I think we underestimate sometimes the legacy of the colonial era, at least as some of these governments perceive it. First of all, Burma is an artificial country. It was in fact pushed to the west when the British colonial powers were occupying parts of Asia, and of course it has the Burman people, and then it has all these hill tribes, hill peoples, and I think sometimes we, not just the Myanmar government, but a lot of other governments are still very sensitive to the need to consolidate the nation, to achieve autonomy in the face of external pressures. I'm not for a moment defending what Myanmar was doing. I was at the Shangri-La conference. There was a French ship and an American ship sitting there, and this Burmese general who showed up kept saying that we don't need any help, and people were climbing the walls. I'm not defending it, but I do think that when I look at, for example, just at responses to globalization, one way to explain this web of free trade agreements that have characterized bilateral relations within Asia, and agreements like China, ASEAN, and India, ASEAN, and Korea, ASEAN free trade agreements, so-called free trade agreements, they're riddled with holes. Yeah. They're riddled with sectors that need to be protected from rapid globalization. Some of them are just pure out-and-out politics. Now, do we know anything about protecting industries for political reasons? No, of course not. We don't know anything about this. But seriously, I think we underestimate the sensitivity to outside interference at our peril. And I think one of the chapters in your book, Don, which, by the way, is an excellent book, says that resistance to interference is beginning to give way. Yeah. Beginning to give way. And in fact, when I met the Indonesian foreign minister, Wirayuda, he said he was trying to demystify this notion of national sovereignty, make it a little bit less of a sacred cow. And that's a very progressive thinker, to be sure. Yeah.